JSzonda guys, I'm back, got a review for you. This time we have this 82 rated Openda card. Now I feel like a lot of people will be using him in their start teams, hence why I'm doing the review on this guy. I am getting used to PS5 with a camera and that, so if the audio is a little bit funny or anything like that, I do apologise, I am trying to sort that. So on stats said, so he's 5'10", got the high medium work rate, he's got the 3-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Now he's right footed with the controlled explosive, which is new to this year. There was explosive, controlled and lengthy, but this year there's a controlled explosive, which is a little bit weird in my opinion, considering there's now one in between the two of them. Anyway, on alternatives, you can play the striker and the centre forward, so there's not much variation about the card. You can only really play up front, and that's really, I only recommend him. He's only really a striker because he's not really got the passing or anything like that, but I'll explain that later. On stats then, so he's got a 93 pace, 79 shooting, 68 passing, 80 dribbling, and a 78 physical. So he doesn't look as good as some of the cards I'm reviewing, or let's say some of the women that have just come into the game that are similar ratings to him. But generally speaking, he is going to be quite OP because of that pace and that finishing over, especially since he's got that quick step playstyle, but I'll talk about them in a minute. Actually, talking of playstyles, so first of all for the playstyles, he's got the finesse shot trait, which is really nice this year, especially for a striker. You do need a few like these shooting kind of traits. He's also got the rapid trait, which allows him to have a higher top speed, which is just insane to me considering he's got like 93 pace already. Just makes it insanely fast for on goal. He's also got the Trivela, which just allows a bit more range of shooting in itself, and that is my favourite one. He's got the quick step, which is just explosively fast when you have it. But that's all for my intro. If you do enjoy the clip or want to see more, please do subscribe. It generally does help the channel out a lot, and I'll see you after. Peace. So what's my other thoughts about the card then? Now first me kicking off is the 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills. Now 3-star skills me doesn't really bother me too much this year. Like normally I'm very dependent on skills, but generally so far, maybe it's just I've not got used to the mechanics yet, but generally I've not really been using it. I've just been using tiki-taka football, hence why I've got De Bruyne in the team. But generally that's 3-star skills, not an issue. The 4-star weak foot is very good. Obviously you'll have a few chances on his weak foot where he would miss, and also on a strong foot as you've just seen there. Like, he does have a few misses here and there, but generally speaking, it's not too bad. Now the pace me, electrically fast. Seriously fast. Now he doesn't feel as fast as some of the taller guys, because obviously their top end speed is faster, which does make sense for real life. But generally, it's so insanely fast off the mark, especially that quick step. He's like Rodman, it just bursts off the mark, and generally no one can catch him straight when he's going. Now the shoot me surprised me really. It's generally a lot better than what those stats say. Maybe because of the playstyles like the Trivela, the finesse shot and all that. But generally he's really good at shooting, and he can finish a lot of chances, and honestly a lot better than some of the other cards I've used. And that's a little bit of a hint. Next up for me is going to be his passing. Now generally awful, like I mean horrendously bad. I would say stay clear of this passing. He's not a 1-2 player. He's a get in behind and score kind of player. Anything else other than that is horrendous. Don't do it. Now, his dribbling attributes, although they're not amazing, they're not particularly bad, they're just kind of average. So he will be able to twist and turn, especially at the start of the game when the defenders aren't really the best. But generally speaking, he's not really that kind of card to just be like an agile, nimble card. He's more of a pace kind of card. Now, the composure for me, this is why maybe he missed a few chances, as you saw in the clips when I was talking over them. He did miss a few chances, maybe his composure's a little bit low, but generally I didn't really notice it too much. It's not that bad of an issue in my opinion. Now, the physical attributes for me. Now, I've already said about the women on this game where they've got really high jumping, but they're quite small, so it doesn't really matter. And it's the same situation as Openda. He's only 5'9", so that jumping isn't going to matter too much. He did actually score a header and beat one of the defenders to the aerial battle. So that's, I take that how you will. I would say he's not really that much of an aerial threat, but 93 jumping clearly says otherwise. Now, the stamina for me, if you have on the right instructions, that will last you 90 minutes easily. But if you have him on like get back and come back on defense, it's not really going to last you the whole game. But I wouldn't recommend it on a card like this. I think he's just a main striker. Now, the strength for me, it's quite weak in my opinion. I know it says 78, it's probably more like 65. He's not the strongest of cards, maybe because that aggression stat is a little bit low and his height takes into consideration. But generally, he's not really that type of card. He's definitely a pace and finishing type of card. But that's all of my overall thoughts. Now let's go to overall scores. So onto my overall scores for the card. Now first me kicking off is the pace. Overall for the pace, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. He's electrically fast, don't get me wrong, and I don't really think there's going to be many cards that can keep up with this card, especially not even fullbacks this stage of the year. Generally, there's only maybe Alphonso Davies and Frimpong and people like that can, but overall he's just electrically fast. Now overall for the shooting, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Upgrades on it, shot power maybe, a little bit more composure, maybe a 5-star refill, but overall it's quite good considering what it says it is. It's generally actually surprising. Now, the passing for me, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. Stay far clear of this. I would recommend a Deadeye 100% just to try and get that short pass a little bit higher, just so we can do a little bit of tiki-taka football, but overall it is just abysmally bad. Now, the dribbling for me, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm not giving it higher than that because I feel like if the agility was more like 90 odd with his height, it would work very nicely. But overall, they're just very mediocre stats, and it does feel like that in game. He can turn, don't get me wrong, because of his height, but overall, it's just quite mediocre. Now, the physical attributes, they're okay. They're, again, average. Like the stamina's okay, the jumping's good, but the strength and the aggression are quite average. So overall for this, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 as well. I just don't feel like he's any higher than that unless he's got really high stamina or high strength. So, on overall score for this card then, I'm going to give him a 7.8 out of 10. I do really think he's a good striker, especially for the 15k. So, for value for coins, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. If you can get links to him with like a Klosterman or anything like that, like it may be a Marlon, just something cheap at the start of the game. If you've not got many coins, he will carry you definitely. He's a very, very good card for the price, but just when you're getting to the 100k mark, I feel there's a lot better cards. But that's all for my review. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. It generally does help the channel a lot. But I've got nothing more to say, so I'll see you in the next video, and peace out, guys.